So, it is not the patriarchy. And for those of you who follow Kemetic philosophy, of course, the principle of atomic radiation and annihilation is Sekhmet, the harbinger of Ra, the masculine principle for the dispensation of justice and change, who makes way for the house of Heru, Het Heru, who Ra changes her into. Your problems as women are not a patriarchy. And for those of you who follow astrology, how could we be in a time of patriarchy when our planet's orbital threshold in the galaxy is about to transcend into the age or eon of Aquarius or Hapi, an air sign, which makes it a masculine principle? Let's think about that for a minute. If the Aquarius age is an air age, it's a masculine principle because the masculine elements are air and fire. The feminine principles are water, and earth. What age are we coming out of? Pisces. What's Pisces? Water energy. So we've been in a matriarchy. But you see, because the white man thinks like a woman, because he thinks like a woman with a man's body, he's insane. And you think it's patriarchy doing it. In fact, it has been your forced adoption of and indoctrination into the masculine realms of activity that are the true causes of your stress and disease states, my sisters. Over the last 45 years, women's minds have been seduced into accepting the so-called liberation agenda of psychopolitical agent provocateurs who weren't actually women in the first damn place, but lesbians. And the lesbian agenda is the usurpation and overthrow of the masculine in the greater society. In fact, they want to overthrow the masculine to take the place of the masculine because they are masculine. In fact, neo-feminism began its rise with two of the most virulent man-hating heifers at the time. Gloria Steinem, known CIA, and Betty Friedan, a prescription-addicted, self-serving psychopath. She was a domestic terrorist, both working for the right-wing and the left-wing Communist Party. They are and always have been all-out enemies of heterosexual love and relationship dynamics. These women are responsible for creating social perceptions and conditions that set the scene for psychopolitical chaos between men and women on a scale unprecedented in human history. In fact, in honor of their accomplishments, the play entitled The Vagina Monologues, or If Pussy Could Talk, is actually a sapphic triumph celebrating the conquest of heterosexuality. Those who venture out of this little exhibition to see this little exhibition on lesbianism, laissez-faire, get the privilege of plunking down $65 to $95 at the National Theater to see what the feminists, this feminist named Eva Ensler, has to say about her twat. Now I know, sisters, it sounds indelicate, but I'm going to attack a feminist like it's a man. And I'm going to call it an it. Because it don't know what the fuck it is. A Village Voice report has stated that one show held at Madison Square Garden, listen to this, a Village Voice reporter stated that one show held at Madison Square Garden, an audience of over 18,000 women got so hyped up and whipped up into a frenzy, they began to chant the word cunt for 5 minutes. Now, I just want you to picture that. 18,000 crazy-ass white women screaming the word cunt. 5 minutes. Now see, at the times when we used to talk about our you-know-whats, men used to give it names. And that was just uncouth. But women can now make whole plays out of it. But check the vagina monologues. The play deals with women talking to, for, and about their vaginas, even giving them nicknames, dressing them up in imaginary outfits, holding conversations, and critiquing the outside world from there. The women chosen to do the vagina monologues are basically feminists in their lifestyle and philosophy, and or are older in years. Women who looked hardened in their years, women without men. In the play, the author, Eve Ensler, interviews a tax lawyer, a female tax lawyer, who made huge dollars as a lesbian gigolo. This lawyer stated that there were large numbers of women that were unfulfilled, and women pay me to dress up like a man and dominate them. So you get these hardened-ass females who are up there commanding, lords of industry. But then they want somebody to tie them up, whip them down, and say, take me, abuse me. This Jiggalesbo goes on to say, and I quote, in the play she says, there are 4 fingers inside of me. 2 are hers and 2 are mine. Ensler gets hot and ready and she says, come on in. As I also intimated in my book, The Wounded Womb, feminist lesbians are, pardon the pun, waist deep into pedophilia as well. In the vagina monologue, a young 12-year-old girl tells the audience how her mother left her in the care of a good-looking, experienced 24-year-old woman who turns around and has sex with her. But here is the sick twist. The child then says, she transformed my sorry-ass coochie, Snorchie, into a kind of heaven. Also in the play, the author plays house with her vagina, where she asked a 6-year-old girl to smell her pussy and tells her it smells like snowflakes. This is the vagina monologue that is now around the world in 67 countries. This is why Islam is trying to kill every one of these white motherfuckers over there. Because with the army and the goddamn priests comes the vagina monologue in Iraq. Could you imagine your woman start talking about her pussy and opening it up? There is women's classes where the teacher gets up on the desk and cocks open her legs, stretches her lips open, and tells the women to pass by and look at it and touch it. You women are going nuts! Because you don't submit. As crazy as we men are, who have to get it together and recapture you because you're getting insane. We men are insane too because we've turned into cowards. You don't want to bleed for what you want no more. You want it given to you. You don't want to die anymore for what you want. You're pumped out. So your woman don't know how, she ain't got no goddamn direction now. So she's talking to her pussy and pretending like it's talking now. See, when you're left alone, you ain't got shit to do. Brothers, you better step up. Vagina monologue.